Hi, I'm Max. I'm the creator behind Eat the Rich Art. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns, and I have a market this weekend. So I gotta get prepping. However, I have a problem. And that problem is that I made a decent amount of stock in November, but I also made a decent amount of Christmas presents, and I didn't separate them. So they're all in this bag here. Which means that before I can show you any progress on getting all of my stock out, doing an inventory and tagging the things that need to be tagged, I gotta sort this bag out. So I'm gonna go into time-lapse mode and I'll see you in a second. Okay, here's all the stock. It's times like this where I could really do with a little microphone because I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, but here it all is. Think me come closer. I think what I'm gonna do is I've got my iPad. It's on the bedside table. Don't know if you can see it. It's there. I'm gonna go through, inventory everything I've got, and then make a separate pile of the stuff that needs to be tagged and the stuff I'm changing the prices on, because I am once again putting my prices up slightly because they were too low at the Fargo Halloween market. So I'm not making that same mistake at the Fargo Christmas market. So let's go. Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both liars. I got gifts but one subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket. Oh God, another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid. Am I dreaming? What just happened? Right. So that is everything out, added to the spreadsheet. And I've separated out the things that I either need to change the tag on or just tag full stop. I think I'm going to stop for some dinner, and then I'm going to cart all of this downstairs with me and tag it while I watch some YouTube, probably. Might watch a bit of Strange Things, depends if my partner's done with his uni work for the evening. But we'll see. So I will see you again in time-lapse mode once I have eaten. So I am back to it. I did end up finding out that I didn't have enough tags, so I had to make a bunch. So you've probably just seen me cutting them all out and putting hole punches in. I've also run out of these tags, which I get from Sausagery and Green, so I've had to DIY some of those. But now we're ready to attach all of them. I'm going to watch some TV with my partner, and I'll see you all probably tomorrow. Hello, and we're back in the bedroom because today is Friday the 5th of December and I've not packed my bags yet, and my mum's coming to pick them up at like 2. So I gotta do that. It's currently like 8 AM, so I've got like an hour before I need to start work, and therefore an hour to pack my bags. and then probably the next time I see you live action me will either be tomorrow morning or after the market. It depends what I remember to film, because I've been bad at remembering to film. So, yeah. I'm gonna stop rambling and actually use my time that I have. Right, we are all set up and ready to go. Here is my partner's stuff, as usual. He has a new zine. Get his new zine, it's cool. It's about graffiti. Then I have all of my things. The table is looking crowded today. I haven't been able to put half of my stuff out because I made too much. So we have everything. We have the woodland creatures, we have the popping buddies, we have my sign to say, hey, I'm special and you are too, and that's fine. I have my stickers. Christmassy stuff is all up here to grab people's attention. And then there's his all key rings and mini buddies are there. I've managed to get a loaf cat out and a fish, but I had no room for any of my fidget toys or my hats. So hopefully some of this sells so that I can get them out. Hello, it is Sunday morning, which means that you're wonky. Which means that yesterday we did the first half of the market, so I'm going to give you the rundown of how that went, and then today we have the second half of the market. Also means I'm really tired. So, no, my stock spreadsheet isn't going to help me now. Yeah, while that's loading up, yeah, we had a good day yesterday. There was the lady there who was there at Halloween again. We had a chat. She let me know that she has UKCA tested stuff. Her tags are more obvious this time as well. And yeah, we discussed what I'd said about her. So we're chill, like it's all fine. But yeah, lesson learned for me: don't record when you're in a bad mood. So that was nice. I think I've probably inserted a clip of her table. Anyway, I think from the looks of it, she's got a much wider variety of stuff this time. I think at Halloween she just grabbed the best sellers out, so that was probably why it was a bit generic. But yeah, that was the story. I don't think I have any other stories really from yesterday. I had a few returning customers from Halloween, which was nice. It was good to see them. Returning customer from the alt market as well, which was cool because I've never really seen him outside of the context of where the alt market is based. And yeah, chill. I sold some big things, which you're about to see. And it was all around like, it was mostly a slow day, which you're also about to see. I nearly fell asleep in the last hour because it was just like, dragging myself through that last hour was really difficult. I'd like to say I'm more rested today. I didn't really sleep last night, so I'm gonna take a flask of tea with me today and hope that that keeps me perked up. Also, I've got a slightly sore throat, which I think is just from talking to people a lot, because like day to day, obviously, I'm sat here, I work from home, I only live with my partner, I'm not a very social person, we don't have friends over very often, so when I do have to talk a lot, I end up with a bit of a gravelly throat. That's life, innit? Anyway, onto the thingies. Let me tell you the thingies. So, first of all, I will give you, oh no, because I'll do the total rundown of like everything I took and everything I sold later after this like bit of the market, and then just for today I'm going to tell you what I sold and when I sold it. So, we opened at 11. I didn't have my first sale until 11:28. So at 11:28 I sold a rock golem. At 11:33 I sold a grumpy frog. At 11:36 I sold a rat and one of my stickers because they bought from both me and my partner. It's one of our friends, so I gave them a toast bath sticker. At 11:44 I sold a mini dog and a frog as well, I think. No, just the mini dog. I just had to adjust the price because I hadn't recorded in Square that I'd raised the price on those. Luckily the tag was right, so the price that the customer was shown was correct. I just had to correct it in Square. Anyway, then 10 minutes later at 11:54 I sold my like wonky frog that I made this month, where I ran out of, which one was I using? I ran out of yarn smiths halfway through, so I had to switch to like a tiny scrap I had left of a different green, and it looks a bit weird, so I sold him anyway for £2. The lady who bought him loved him, and then it slowed down again, so we had like a little rush for like half an hour, and then the next sale after that was 20 minutes later. So at 12:13 I sold a mini goose, so he's finally gone. He's been with me since the Halloween alt market, so that's 3 events, 4 market days that he's been with me. Then another half an hour later at 12:37, it was like 25 minutes later, I sold a frog and a mushy pop, so that was £8. Then another half an hour later, I think that's 40 minutes actually, yeah, 40 minutes later, I sold another frog and a turtle. Honestly, right, so I made one more frog for this event. I had some left from what I'd prepped for the Halloween event, and they hadn't done great at the Halloween event, but for some reason the frogs have gone really well this weekend. Like, I think I'm out of frogs. I might have one left, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I do. So yeah, I sold out of frogs. The capybaras, which went so quickly at Halloween, and I've seen people walking around like yesterday being like, oh, capybara, capybara. It took ages to sell like even one, and I'd prepped 10 in the end because yesterday morning I made a pink one and a blue one. So I'd prepped 8 brown ones, a pink one and a blue one, and I think I've sold like 3. And I sold out of them completely on the first day last time. I had 4, but they sold out in like an hour. So I made more for the Sunday, and sold another one on the Sunday. Like, I sold out of capybaras again between these 2 events because I sold the last one I had online. Made 10, no sales. Well, like a few sales, but like it took so long to sell a capybara, which you will see, but really weird. Frogs, great. Capybaras, no. Anyway, it's not even like the other crochet lady has capybaras. She doesn't. I am the crocheter with capybaras, that's that. So it's really weird. Anyway, stop rambling, get on with it. Yeah, where did I get to? 1:15 I sold a frog and turtle. 1:20 I sold a squid. I think that's my bright pink squid. No, that was my purple and green squid that I made for Traveller's Wheel. I didn't think you'd tell because quite honestly I thought he was a bit ugly. But yeah, someone bought him, they loved him, they just thought he was really sensory. Then we get another little rush again, so like it quietened down like loads and now it's rushing up again after 1. So 3 minutes later I sold a possum, and a BMO. Then another 3 minutes later, I sold a fox and my green dragon. So that was a £30 purchase. Very nice. Then another 3 minutes later, I sold my other possum. So I'm out of possums. Then a minute after that, I sold my other dragon, my red dragon. So I'm out of dragons. I'm out of dragons, I'm out of possums, I'm out of frogs. Then someone made a purchase from my mum's store, so we won't count that. Then 15 minutes later, I sold my giant goose for £25. She picked him up and she just immediately fell in love and was cuddling him, and his name is Derek. He's been called Derek, which is the perfect name for a goose. Like, she said it as I said it. It was like this magic moment of like, yes, this goose is named Derek. Which was fantastic. That was like such a nice moment. And then literally another minute later, I sold a BMO. So I've sold my pink BMO, my blue BMO, and then I've still got the purple one on the table, I think. Then someone bought some off my mum's store. So 10 minutes after someone buying the BMO, I sold a turtle. Kids were loving the turtles this time. I think that's probably why the capybaras weren't getting as much love. It's not even like I have put my prices up on the capybaras, but people weren't even picking them up to see the price. They just weren't getting on with it. Then 20 minutes later, right? So we are opposite a jewellery stall. We're opposite a jewellery stall and a cake stall, and why do we keep getting put opposite cake stalls, honestly? It is so bad for my financial and physical diet. But anyway, there's a jewellery stall next to the cake stall. And one of the ladies came over and she was like, your plushies are staring at me. I was like, okay. How much is the gingerbread man? Like, oh, it's £35. And she winced a little bit because, like, that's understandable, honestly. It's rough this time of year, and 35 is a lot to spend on one plushie. Completely understand. But she went, oh, the texture of it's not what I expected. I thought it was knitted. I went, well, it's all crocheted. I've used a velvet yarn, and well, I explained it as velvet to her because I didn't know if she'd notion it if I said it. And I've used like a velvety yarn rather than a wool. She went, oh, you've made it? I went, yeah, it took me like 3 hours. And she went, oh, you're only charging £35 for it? And I was like, yeah. He is my highest priced item as well. And she was like, oh, okay. I've got to have him. And then she ummed and ahed a bit between him and one of the festive geese. I've still got both of the festive geese, which I'm a little bit sad about because I was really hoping they'd go because I don't want to be stuck with them. And they are adorable. I just don't think people are noticing them, so I might need to move the table around a bit this morning. I'll film a like before and after so that you can see how the table was left yesterday and then what I've done to it this morning. But anyway, so yeah, she bought him. I was like, thank God, honestly, because at that point I was getting worried that I've made 3 very festive plushies plus the reindeer and then was going to be left with like these humongous, because the gingerbread man is huge. I was really worried that I was going to be left with that like giant teddy and not be able to shift him, like I have with the Brontos. Oops, I probably shouldn't have made the second Bronto, but I like making them and I like it when they're giant, so it's fine. But anyway, 2:15, I sold the gingerbread man. Then 3 minutes later, I sold a turtle. And then finally at 2:30, so at this point we are 3.5 hours, right, into a 6-hour market. We're past the halfway point. I finally sell a capybara. So I sold 1 capybara and I got a feeling that was, if it was after the purple turtle, no, it wasn't after the purple turtle. Okay, so that was a normal coloured capybara, I think. Or was that a blue capybara? I think I've missed recording a sale at some point on here. I'll sort that today. So yeah, capybara sold. Love it, perfect. Then 15 minutes later at 2:45, I sold a turtle, and that was the purple turtle. So yes, I have missed recording a capybara on here. Because just after the purple turtle, I know for a fact I sold a blue capybara. So yeah, so I sold one brown one and one blue one. Considering I prepped 10, I've still got 8 of them. People, it's so hard to predict what people will buy. But anyway, right, that was at 2:45. Then literally 2 minutes later I sold a ghost. And between that I sold a cappy. So that was like a little mini rush in itself. Then my mum made a sale like literally right after that to the same guy who bought the ghost. I love him so much. He's the same guy who bought the impling for Halloween and had to decide between his mum and his sister getting it. It turned out in the end, I asked him today, his sister got it. I asked him yesterday, his sister got it. So I did like point out the fact that I've made the inverse one of the impling he bought, because he bought one that was black with red detailing, and I've made a red with black detailing one. And he was like, yeah, they've had the battle now, like, I'm not sure if mum would like still want one or if she wants something else off you. So I was like, yeah, fair enough. Anyway, then literally an hour after the previous sale, so we are now at 10 to 4. The market ended at 5. Like to point that one out. So in the last 2 hours of the market, I made one sale, and that was a Perry keychain for £4 to the same person who bought the Arctic Fox and thought it was a kangaroo. Last market. They come around a lot. They also bought some of my partner's art. They're really cool. I love them. Hi Josh, if you're watching. I don't know if you are, but yeah. So that was all of the sales, which means in total, considering the fact that I'm pretty sure I sold a second capybara and didn't record it, I will count my cappies today just to see, but yeah, I'm fairly sure I sold 2. That means yesterday in total between me, my mum and my partner, we sold £280 worth of stuff. 26 of that was my partner's, and 42 I think of that was mum's. Let's double check. Yeah. So what's 26 plus 32? 42. 68. So I made £212 yesterday, which was nice. Yeah, that was like in the end, the first hour of the market I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales. The second hour of the market I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sales, which I think is my most sales in an hour, but I'll have to check. Then that was between 1 and 2, sorry. So between 11 and 12, I'm messing my count up actually, hang on. Between 11 and 12, I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sales between 11 and 12. Between 12 and 1, I made 2 sales. Between 1 and 2, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sales. Between 2 and 3, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales, and then between 3 and 5, I made 1 sale. And that was how yesterday went. So I will see you later when I tell you how today went. I've got a video to edit, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, so this is what we left the table looking like yesterday. So as you can see, it's the Brontos and the reindeer that are up there. Festive geese and things. I started getting my Halloween and summer stock out to fill gaps, and then the table quite crammed, so I'm going to see what I can do to improve it this morning, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so here's how we're looking now. I've tidied it up a bit. I've made space for the fidget toy rack by moving some things up here. I need to put some more loaf cats out and fill that bottom shelf up, but we're not doing too badly. The only thing I've not been able to put out is my badges because they'd be hidden, and then my clearance box. But other than that, we're doing quite well.
Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both liars. I got gifts but one subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket. Oh God, another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid. Am I dreaming? What?
Hello, it is Sunday evening, so it is time to tell you how I did, what I did, what I sold, what I got, what I took, all of those things. So we'll start with telling you what I sold and when I sold it today, because that will be a quick it'll be a quick way of going through it. So we didn't make many sales today. We opened at 11. At 11:07. Oh no, that was the adjustment from yesterday. So I did sell one more capybara yesterday than I recorded on the square. I was correct. So yeah, at 11:07 I recorded that sale from yesterday. I didn't actually make a sale until 12 minutes past 12. So we were open an hour and 12 minutes before I made a sale. And that was to another vendor who bought my giant pigeon for her son. So I hope that her son enjoys the giant pigeon. Then the next sale I made for my stuff, because I sold a bit of my partner's stuff and my mum's stuff in between. Next sale that was actually for me was at 2 minutes past 1. So that's again like another 50 minutes later. I sold a snake. So that was something that I think I managed to show on the clips today. I completely forgot, by the way, to record an after of the table. So sorry for that. You'll find out what I sold. Now, I actually managed to get my fidget toys out today, which was nice. So I sold a snake. Well, did I record what colour snake that was? A purple snake. Saw a purple snake at 2 minutes past 1. And then I made another sale of my mum's stuff. And then at 1:15, so like nearly 15 minutes later, I sold a blue octopus and a capybara. And I think that was a pink capybara this time. So then the next sale I made was another half an hour later at 1:49. I sold one of my mini cats. I think that was the black mini cat. Then another half an hour later, like it was slow today, guys. So yeah, that half an hour after that, someone came by and bought both of my seasonal geese. And because they bought them in a pair, I knocked the price down a bit, so that was £25 for the 2 seasonal geese. Then another half an hour later, at 8 minutes past 3, I sold a pink octopus and a black whale keychain. Then 10 minutes after that, so like we actually had sort of a mini rush in the last hour of the market, which was really odd, because that doesn't usually happen for us. So that was, yeah, 10 minutes after the previous sale, I sold my red and black impling. So that was the red guy with the black horns. The only impling I have left now is my little sleepy time guy, who is blue and pink. And with that purchase, I gave them a Youngblood sticker because they spent over £15. I kept forgetting to tell people I was doing that. Not gonna lie, so that's why I only did one each day. Then about 5-6 minutes after that, I sold a fidget caterpillar and a purple turtle. The turtles did quite well this weekend, which was nice. Literally a minute later, I sold another one of my cats. I can't remember which colour that was. I've got a feeling it was the brown one. or the grey one. I think it's the grey cat that I sold then. And then another 2 minutes after that, I sold my black loaf cat. And that was it. That was 3:30. And then we didn't make a sale for the last half an hour of the market, which is better than we did yesterday, to be fair. With like the last sale yesterday was at, oh no, I made a sale I made a sale at 10 to 4 yesterday, so that was over an hour before the end of the market. It was only half an hour this time. Whereas I'd looked over to my mum at 3, with it having been slow for 40 minutes at that point. I went, I don't think we're going to make a sale for the rest of the market. And then I made most of my sales for the day after that point. So yeah, that is the total for today. So that means in total across the 2 days, so today, money that was mine that I made was, sorry, I'm just having to take my mum's and my partner's stuff off. So £51 of that was mum's and Dom's. So that means that, so yesterday I made £212. Today I made £115. So that means I made £327 over the weekend, which is quite nice. My total costs in the end, including price adjustments and the sticker giveaways, was £121, which means I've come out with a profit of about 210 quid, I think, which is very nice. So yeah, that is how I did. So let's tell you what I took and what sold. So I'll start with just the things that are in generic categories, and then I'll move on to the like seasonal specific stock. So my animal head keychains, I still haven't sold any. So that is my elephant, my light fury, and my cow. My small animal head keychains, which is my pig and a mini cat that I had this time, they haven't sold either. I didn't sell either of my bees. I took 2. I didn't sell my keychain sized bee. I didn't sell either of my big Brontos, any plague doctors. I think that's it right now for things that didn't sell at all. So moving on to things I did sell. My capybaras, I took 12 in total. I did make 4 across this weekend, so I had 8 to start with, and then I've made another 4. So out of the 12, I sell them at £6 each. I sold 3 of them, so I have 9 left. So that's £18 in total. My loaf cats, I took 6 with me. I sold the black one of those. I sell them for £6 each, so that was £6 in total. My fidget caterpillars, I took 3. I sell them at £5 each, and I sold 1. My bird fidget poppers, I didn't sell any. My chick mushrooms, I didn't sell any. And my frog mushrooms, I didn't sell any. But I did sell 1 mushroom fidget popper. I've realised that the reason that my price count is off is because I put them too high. So, mushroom fidget popper, I sold 1 at £4. So that is £4 in total. My fidget snakes, I took 10. I sold 1 of them at £4. My fish, I took 7, but I didn't sell any. My gummy cats, I took 5. I sold 2 at £4 each, so that was £8 in total. My Labubu keychains, I've still got 3 of. My mini dogs, I took 3 and I sold 1 of them. I think that was the brown one, so I think I've got the black and white ones left. My octopuses, I sold 2 of at £3 each. I took 8 with me. My skull keychains, I didn't sell any. My stickers, I didn't sell any, but I did give 2 away as freebies. My turtles, I took 9. I sold 4 of them at £3 each, so that's £12 in total. My whale keychains, I took 3 and I sold 1 at £3. So then my seasonal things. My seasonal clearance, so that was the goofy looking frog and my goat. I still have the goofy goat, so he is coming with me to the next market, which is a car boot sale, and hopefully he goes there. So I sold the Goofy Frog at £2. Then out of my £4 seasonal items, I sold 5 of them. So I took with me, the 3 that I still got is a black rat, a brown bear, and then my reversible octopus. The 5 that I sold were 3 frogs, the skunk. Oh no, I've still got the skunk. Okay, miscalculated, sorry. Okay, right. The 4 that I didn't sell is the rat, the skunk, the brown bear, and the octopus. The 5 that I did sell were the 3 frogs, the goose, and the Perry keychain. So I've just fully messed that up because I thought I took 8, but I in fact took 9. My £6 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I did take 14 of them, so this line is correct. I took 14, I sold 5 of them. So the 9 I have left are the 4 mushrooms, the Mini Moo, the purple Bimo, my penguin, my elephant, and my pink squid. The 5 that I sold are my pink Bimo, my blue Bimo, my rock golem, my purple squid, and my ghost. My £9 items, I took 5. I sold 3 of them, so I've still got my pumpkin bat and my boo bear, but I sold 2 possums and my big rat. Then out of my £12 items, I took 7, but I only sold 1. So I sold the fox finally, he's gone home, but I've still got 2 Grim Reapers, the raccoon, the hot dog pup, the pumpkin bear, and Ozzy the bull. My £15 items, I took 3, which was Kuromi, my tree goose, and my Santa goose. I sold the tree goose and the Santa goose. Obviously, I did knock those down to £12.50 each because they'd bought 2. So that was £25 in total for the 2 geese. Then my £18 items, I took 2 implings and 2 dragons. I sold the 2 dragons and 1 of the implings at £18 each. My £25 items, I sold both of because that was my pigeon and my goose. And then my £35 items, I sold 1 of. So I sold the gingerbread man and I still got the reindeer. And that was everything that I took and everything that I sold. So that was a total profit of, my spreadsheet says £333, but that doesn't add up with what I calculated. Not sure. Oh, I just make £6 in price adjustments, so that makes sense. So after price adjustments, I made a total profit of £327. My costs were £121.20, so therefore I made £208.80 this weekend in profit, which I'm very happy with. I don't have any more funny stories from today because this was a boring market, but it is something that I will probably come and do again, because it's a good market for me. This was the same one I did at Halloween. I made over 300 quid. I think I made over 400 at Halloween. I've made over 300 at Christmas. If we can schedule it well enough that we can do both weekends next year for Christmas, that will be amazing, because I still have enough stock that I could have done another weekend quite comfortably. So does my mum and so does Dom. So yeah, I think next year we're going to try and schedule for the whole, like, 2 weekends that they do. And yeah, this was my wrap up for this week. Hello, editing Max popping in because I didn't do an outro. I just didn't. I just said have a good day and left. So if you want to shop from the stock I have left, it's all on my Ko-fi store. My Ko-fi store is down there. If you like this video, please drop it a like or some hype points. If you want to see more of my markets in December and how they go, please drop a subscribe and hit the bell. I also do yarn reviews, yarn hauls, challenges like what I can make in a day challenges, and various other things. I will be releasing my what I made in November video next week, So if you're interested in that, also subscribe, drop the notification bell, a little ding as well, so that YouTube will tell you when I put videos up. Subscribe, like, comment. Oh yeah, comment is the next thing I need to tell you to do. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. If you have done a market at Fargo before, please let me know. If you came today and I saw you and said hi, please let me know. If you just want to tell me how your day's gone, do it. If you want to tell me your dog's name, do it. Like, just have a chat with me. I love having a chat in the comments, so let me farm your engagement, please. Is there anything else I need to tell you to do? Check out my shop, subscribe, like, comment, and have a good day. See ya.